All righty. So DD and Ian, I think I said, right?
Yes.
DD and Ian, is this the first time you guys filled out this card?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Before we dive into all that, couple quick questions. How long you guys been in New Jersey?
What is it now, D? Like 20 years?
20 years. We'll take 20.
20 years. I love it. Have you always been in Toms River?
No,
No. Where are you coming from, DD?
we were coming from Hawaii.
Hawaii? What made you come over here? Can we go back to Hawaii?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think we're crazy.
Where in Hawaii were you?
Maui.
Maui. What made you come here?
Work.
I guess that's about as good of an answer as it could be, huh? So what do you do now?
We run our business.
What business do you run?
We take care of building pools all over the place in Jersey.
Wow, Didi, you got this fake life down pat right now. You're traveling this all.
Look, husband don't get to talk at all. Okay, go ahead.
I love it. No, I love it. You're nailing this for me. So do you guys have a lot of family in the area, or are they still back in Hawaii?
We have a lot of distant relatives here.
Oh yeah, big family?
Yes.
Love it. What do you guys do for fun in Jersey? Probably something different than you did in Hawaii, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. Just hang out with friends, you know. We have a nice community that we're with, and let the kids do their thing. That's it.
Love it. How old are your kids?
10 and 15.
Good ages. What's their names?
Michael and Janice.
Michael. I heard Michael is one of the best names you could pick.
Oh yeah, I thought so.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm kind of funny. So anyway, do you remember filling out that card?
Yes.
All right, great. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start from the beginning and just tell you what this is all about. Okay. There's gonna be some videos that I want to show you. The first video that I want to actually show you is going to explain actually the relationship between your union and our company that could give you a better explanation as to why this conversation is even happening. So I'm just gonna show you a quick video that's gonna better explain how my company got paired up with yours and how this conversation is even happening. Cool?
Oh yeah.
All right, great. Alessandro, click union. Oh, I forgot Ian was even here, but thanks for coming back.
We trying, Mike. We trying.
You're good. And Alessandro, you can just skip the video as soon as it comes up.
Okay, gotcha. And I apologize for the delay because I'm on an older computer here, so
Don't worry about it. You're giving me time to think.
Proclaim on.
All right, fantastic. So at this point, I'm pretty sure you guys can understand why your union was so excited to work with our company. All right. We have some very exclusive benefits that we could only give out to the 30,000 different unions, credit unions, and labor unions that we are actually associated with. Alessandro, click X. Okay. The first benefit that you're actually entitled to, though, that comes at absolutely no cost to you and your family, is actually your no-cost AD&D policy, okay? Pretty much, I'm gonna give you a good explanation of exactly how this works, but Ian, I'm gonna need to make sure you're paying close attention because this is a benefit that you would be taking advantage of. God forbid something happens to your wife, okay? So let's watch this video and I'll give you a better explanation as soon as we're done. So really quickly, click Group AD&D.
We see the headlines every day.
Okay, fantastic. So did that all make sense to you guys? Okay. Okay.
Straightforward.
Yeah. So it is pretty straightforward. Basically, what it's telling you is if either one of you accidentally loses an arm, a leg, a limb, or if you accidentally lose your life, okay? If you accidentally lose your life, Ian, you're entitled to $4,000. Okay. If God forbid something happens to one of her limbs, her arms, her legs, her pinky, any of that stuff, you would get half, which is actually only $2,000. But it's pretty cool. It's a living and death benefit. It's at absolutely no cost, and it's actually given to you because you're a member of good standing, which is pretty cool, right?
Yes.
And nowadays, the way you kind of look at the way the world is moving, I know a lot of people out there can use a free, no-cost $4,000 accidental death policy. Okay, so the next question I'm actually going to put in your shoes. Because we are paired up with more than 30,000 different unions, credit unions, and labor unions and associations worldwide, we're giving out these no cost benefits to every union member. Because you guys are a member of good standing right now, you can actually sponsor people who are not in the union, and they're actually entitled to the exact same benefits as you can. However, what I am telling you is right now, our agency is running a contest this weekend, and I'm able to give out at no cost over $50,000 to anyone that I choose. Dee and Ian, you guys have been super cool with me. You guys talk to me about Hawaii, your family, and the whole 9 yards. Usually I say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So if I'm having a fun time with you, that probably means you probably know some other people I could have fun with as well. If you guys could give me all the people who give out all 50 grand of this money, I'll make sure they go to all your people. So let's start at the top. Who do you know that could benefit from a no cost benefit of $4,000? Boom, give me some names. Okay, great. Hit the X, move on. I hope you guys see what I did there. Like I said, I'm recording this, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm now giving you guys a target. Okay. So before we get to here, pretend you didn't click on that video yet. Okay. How I would talk about the AIL Plus. I want to make sure I have time to talk to you guys about the AIL Plus plan, because the AIL Plus plan to me is the easiest thing for you to be able to get referrals on if you know how to promote it, if you know how to market it. So as far as I'm concerned, that no cost AIL Plus card, okay? Discounts on vision, discounts on teeth, eyes. I know people who have saved money on Invisalign. And when I talk save money, I'm talking about 25, 30% of $8 grand. That's a nice pretty penny for absolutely no cost. If I'm role playing with Ian and Dee, okay, I'm going to ask them, do you guys wear glasses? How much do your glasses cost? I'm going to ask them, how often do they go to the dentist? How much does that cost? Does anyone take any prescription medications? How much does that cost? I'm going to just hype it up and talk all about it, okay? Really quickly, Alessandro, stop sharing your screen, because what I want to do is pull this up. I want to show you guys what I would do every single time. I don't have it up this second, so just give me 1 second. But what I would do is I would pull this up every single time when you're talking to a client about the AIL Plus card, okay? Pulling this up, I'm physically showing them exactly what the benefits are. And then as soon as they tell me one of these things is something they use, they may tell me, oh, I use diabetes supplies all the time, or I know I have hearing aids, or I got to go get tests at labs all the time. As soon as I find out what makes most sense for them, I'm attacking it, okay? And then once they see the value of it, just like I did before, I could give this out to up to 20 people this week, okay? But I have a limit of 20. So if you give me all 20, I'll give them all to you, okay? However, if you
Is
don't—
lab testing now covered in New Jersey, or are we still not?
I don't know. Let's save that question for another time when we're not recording. But I think the answer is yes. I think it does, but I have no facts to back that up. All right, Alessandro, back to you. Okay. So now that we just keep in mind, I would have went over all the no-cost benefits with you guys. Okay. And then the video was showing about what's the video right before this? It shows the different types of
Need for insurance.
Yeah.
So before we got to that video, what I would have basically said is, okay, so your last no cost benefit that you're entitled to is actually called your no cost needs analysis. It's just like a regular consultation that another company would give to you. But again, because you're a member of good standing, you get this at absolutely no cost. But before we go over your needs specifically for your family, what I want to do is show you a quick video that could better explain the extra benefits and the additional benefits that you may or may not even be able to qualify for. All righty, boom. And that's where I'm going to share the video. It's going to show them you start here, the life insurance, it goes up here, it peaks, it comes back down. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Now we're looking at the no cost needs analysis. Okay, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we're in this needs analysis, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this. Alessandro will be my scribe, and Ian and Didi are going to be my family. Okay, you can make this, don't try not to make this too difficult, but don't make it like the easiest one on the planet. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said before, this is the no cost needs analysis that you are entitled to. Okay. Again, there are other companies out there that make you pay a pretty penny just to have a consultation. This is given to you at absolutely no cost just for being a member of good standing. All righty. So Dinkleberry, I have your birthday down as August 10th, 1975. Is that accurate? All right. Now, Dorothy, let's put Dee Dee's actual name in there. All righty. Guys, if you're not muted, please mute. Except for obviously Ian and Dee Dee. You guys could do your thing. Okay. And Dee Dee, when's your birthday?
January 29th, 1990.
Ooh, rocking the cradle over here. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys said, and you mentioned that you had 2 kids, right? One of them's 15 and one of them's 10. What's the oldest kid's name?
Michael.
Jackie.
Oh, never mind. Jackie's the oldest. I can't remember anything.
Okay. So Michael's the younger. Got it. Lisa, it's okay. We're mocking this whole damn thing.
You saw Lisa's note.
And by the way, Ian's name is not Dinkleberry.
Oh, my birthday's August 8th. That was very close.
That is close. All righty. Let's just put 1 kid just so we can move through this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next group of questions that I'm going to ask you guys is basic medical questions just to make sure we could qualify, okay? Because again, this is not even something that we could guarantee you could qualify for. So has there been any internal cancer in the last 2 years?
No,
No, okay. How about any insulin diabetes?
no,
Any cardiovascular diseases, heart attack, stroke, any of that fun stuff?
no,
Is anyone currently using oxygen except for the leaves on the trees?
no,
Okay. Anyone with any terminal illnesses?
no.
Good answers. You guys are a relatively boring family, but in the insurance world, boring is pretty cool. So I like it. Alzheimer's. You guys remembered we had this appointment today, so that's a good step. But let me ask, do you guys have Alzheimer's?
Not that I think of
No.
right now.
All right.
What's your
Well,
name again?
hey, here we go. Now we're having fun. How about any tobacco? Anyone use any form of tobacco?
No.
Ian? No? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, like I said, you guys are a pretty boring family, but in the insurance world, being boring means that you're a cool person. All righty. So good for you guys.
Ian uses tobacco? I thought he said yes.
I don't care, whatever you want. Yes, he says
Yeah,
yes.
no, at that point you just go with no.
It's fine. He said
Real
yes.
life answer, yes, but no.
He said yes. Put it in. Okay, that's worked. How about, is anyone currently on probation or parole, or anyone ever been arrested or convicted of a DUI?
No.
Wow.
Have I seen you guys on Cops? I watch Cops a lot. Did I see you guys?
I love cops.
I do love Cops. All right, so now let's dive into the meat and potatoes of this. The first question I'm going to ask you guys right now is actually about your monthly take-home pay. Now, the reason why I'm actually asking you this question about your take-home pay is not because I'm nosy and not because I care, because frankly, I'm not nosy and I really don't care. All righty. The reason why is because the program is going to design a plan for your family based on only up to 6% of what your take-home pay is. So in other words, $6 out of every 100. If you were to put $6 that are coming into your household and you were to put it to the side to make sure your family was protected, God forbid the inevitable happens to you guys, would you agree that would be a good investment?
Yes.
Good. Would you also agree that $6 out of every 100, it shouldn't change your lifestyle. It shouldn't take food off your table. For example, I know you guys like to have mac and cheese for dinner. Okay. The last thing I would want you to do is take advantage of these benefits and all of a sudden you can't have the cheese with your mac. All right. I want to make sure you can still have that mac and cheese. So would you agree that $6 out of every 100 is not going to change your lifestyle in any way? It's not taking food off your table.
No, I don't agree.
You don't agree. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Okay, what if we put $5 to the side and put $5 towards, would that be something that's a little more comfortable?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Okay, great. So Ian, are you on board with that too? Does that make sense?
No, I agree with what my wife said. Like
Yep,
that.
good answer. Happy wife, happy life. Good answer. So what would you guys say on average after taxes you take home each month? Let's start with who was the primary? Was it Ian?
Yeah, it was DDS, I think. Actually, no, it was Ian, excuse me.
Let's start with Ian. Ian, what would you say on average you take home each month?
Around net. Are we talking?
After taxes.
Like 4,500.
Love it. Good for you. How about you, Dee Dee?
35.
3,500. I love it. You guys are making some mac and cheese. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I love to see that. Now, the next question I actually have for you guys is separate for both you guys because you guys obviously have different employers. Do you guys actually have insurance through your employer?
No, I don't.
I do not.
How about one of you do?
Okay, all right. So,
All right.
let's say it's Ian.
Okay,
All right.
Ian, let's ask that one again. Rewind. Okay. Do any of you guys have life insurance through your employer?
I do, yes.
You do. Love to hear it. I love an employer who takes care of their employees. Now, let me ask you another question. Do you know what you have? What type of insurance?
1 year salary?
1 year salary. Yeah, it sounds about right. A lot of people have 1.5, 2.5. It sounds about right. Now, let me ask you, is this the first time you've worked somewhere where you've actually had insurance through your employer?
Oh, no, I've had it before through other jobs.
Love to hear that. I love to hear you finding these places where they actually take care of their employees. Now, when you ended up leaving that previous employer, what happened to that insurance through that employer when you left?
Well, I don't have it today.
You don't
I
have
don't know
it.
what that means happened to it, but I know I don't have it.
Okay, so if you don't have it anymore, which basically means they controlled it and they held on to it after you left, which pretty much means what you have right now through your employer is fantastic to have while you're working. But obviously, when you decide to leave, retire, disappear, whenever you're not working with that union anymore, I think, obviously, through your other employer, you don't have that coverage anymore. The same thing would happen through your union. And believe it or not, that's actually the main reason why we're having this conversation today, because your union president understands that what you have through your job is always good to have, but no one plans on dying at the job. So we want to make sure we have a privately owned policy for yourself to make sure, God forbid, you die in the future or sometime soon, we're going to have that taken care of today. Cool? All right. So he said he has his salary at the time of his death. So put 4,500 times 12 is someone who's good at math.
It's around like 51, I think.
54,000. So put that under primary insurance through job. And Dee Dee,
Oh,
Yes.
and Dee Dee, you said you do not have any insurance through your job, right?
No, I do not.
Okay, great. And that's going to be something we take care of today. Not a big deal. How about any privately owned policies? Have you guys ever sat down with a licensed professional to go over their benefits, or is this your first time doing this as well? I don't care. I don't care.
Yes.
You don't care what they say.
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
Yes, I did. I sat down with a Prime America representative
I love to hear that. If you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that?
last year.
Last year. Okay, great. And do you know how much coverage you have?
Oh, well, I know what they were offering, but it didn't sound too right to me.
Well, did you take advantage of a policy?
I did not.
So when I asked you, do you have any privately owned policies? And you said, yes, you were joking with me, or you're a little confused?
I was a little confused.
All right. So you don't have a privately owned policy.
No, I don't.
All right.
But my husband did get a policy with Prime America for
Oh, he did.
$500,000.
All right. Let's talk to Ian. Ian, you took out a policy a year ago when you sat down?
Yes.
All right.
We took out a
Talk to me. How much?
$500,000. It's a term life policy.
500,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Term
good.
is 65.
Okay. Love it. Do you know how much you pay each month for that?
Probably around. D, does 150 sound right? I haven't looked at she handles the
$40.
bills.
Oh, she handles the bills. All right. It just gets taken out every month. All right, cool. No, it sounds about right. Now, let me ask you guys another question. When you took out that coverage amount, the $500,000 term policy on Ian, what's the intentions with that? So God forbid something happens to Ian tonight and he doesn't wake up tomorrow and $500,000 gets paid out to your family, Dee Dee. Where's that money going?
To pay off the mortgage, something for the children and something so that I can maintain if he's not here anymore.
Oh, I love to hear it. Now, let me ask you a question. How much is left on the mortgage?
300,000.
All right. So pretty much, guys, pause. Pretty much what she's telling me is 500,000 is not 500,000. It's only 200,000 because 300 is going towards the mortgage. She spent that. Now she's telling me the other 200 is going a little bit to here, a little bit to there. She gave some vague answers, right? So I'm going to give her vague answers back. So now I know mortgage protection is taken care of. That's not what I'm going to try and sell to them.
Mhm.
They already have that squared away. If Ian dies. Not if Dee Dee does. Are you following? Okay. That's all I'm doing at that moment. I got you to spend it. You told me 500 with 300 is going towards a mortgage. 200 is going to go sprinkled to the kids and sprinkled towards other stuff. Okay. Besides that, I'm fair game here. Okay. And obviously, Dee Dee, you said you don't have any coverage, right?
Right.
And obviously, you guys just share with me that you guys own your house if you have another 300 on your mortgage, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And so here's what I'll tell you guys. I never ask the interest rate question. I don't think it matters. Okay. If you want to ask it, you could. So what's your interest rate? I feel like it's
3%, 3.5.
I feel like it's a nosy question, but Alessandro put 3%. And how many years left are remaining on there?
15 years.
Okay, good. And is it safe to say that you guys actually already have insurance to pay off the mortgage? God forbid something happens, considering you already told me that that $500,000 policy is going to take care of that, right?
Yes.
All right, good. So just put yes and put in 500,000. Okay, fantastic. Now, do you have any money put to the side to make sure Michael and Jackie have enough money to go to college? God forbid something happens to you guys.
Well, I guess
Uh,
the 200,000.
Their
But-
grandparents as well.
Yeah.
So is that
Grandma
a
and grandpa are helping.
So guys, this is a pretty easy question here. Do you guys have any money put to the side to make sure they could go to college right now?
No.
No. Most people don't. So you don't have to be about. Most people don't think about that. So it's perfectly normal. So obviously they don't. And you guys use typical checking or savings account?
Yes.
They
Check.
both.
I love it. We were able to rock and roll through that. So I appreciate you guys doing that. What we're going to do now is Alessandro's going to click submit. He's going to click submit. And he's going to put in some fake email addresses and stuff. And as soon as we get to
The
this next,
checkbox.
what's that?
The checkbox on top.
Good call, Ian. Good call.
Teamwork to make the dream work.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little, slow with the technology.
Don't be sorry. You're my scribe. You're doing
Oh,
great.
gosh. Do I get paid?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But you get knowledge from me that you could use to make some money later.
Yeah.
All right, click continue. All righty. So the first benefit, forget that. Let's do this. This is my favorite part, y'all. Okay. This is massively important. If you guys have spent more than 10 minutes with me, you guys hear me talk about the needs analysis and the mandatory read-off letter all the time. The mandatory read-off letter, the whole reason why we're going to do this is because it's going to get rid of the I want to think about it rebuttal at the end. Okay. So here's how I do it. Dee Dee and Ian, when you guys got that card sent in the mail to you guys and you filled it out, first of all, I want to tell you guys, good job. I can read your handwriting. A lot of people's handwriting, I can't read nowadays. Your guys' handwriting was actually on point. But did you actually read the card that got sent in the mail with you when it sent in, or did you just fill it out and send it back?
Well, I mean, it said it was a free benefit, so
Yeah, so you read part of it, right?
yeah.
I love it. So basically, this card that you're looking at on the screen was actually mailed to you when you filled out the card. I'll give you a quick synopsis of what it said. Basically, what it says is we sit down with everybody individually because every family we sit with has their own individual wants and needs. The family I sat with earlier today is in a different place of their life as your family is, and vice versa with the family I'm going to sit with later. So virtually, it's impossible to sit down with all families multiple times because we have so many families we got to sit down with one-on-one. So in other words, after I review all the benefits that you may or may not qualify for today, okay, and after I answer all of your questions, as long as everything makes sense to you guys, I'm going to ask for a very simple yes. However, on the other hand, if everything I go over with you doesn't make sense for your family and it doesn't look good for you guys, all I'm going to ask you to give me is a very simple no. We'll fill out a report form to get it back to your union president to get him some feedback, and we'll go from there. Is that fair?
Yes.
Ian, you good? All right, great. So we're on the same page. Alessandro, click continue.
Oh, gosh. Continue.
Okay. No, leave it right here. The first video that I'm going to show you guys is actually going to be about your final expenses. Okay. Now, really quickly, have either one of you ever been financially involved with paying for the final arrangements for a loved one before?
Yes.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Dee Dee. If you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that?
About 3 years ago.
Not 3 years ago. And if you don't mind me asking, who was it?
Grandmother.
Very sorry to hear that. Do you know how much it cost to bury your grandmother 3 years ago?
18,000.
Wow, I bet it was an absolute beautiful service. And believe it or not, that's actually right on the averages in the state on how much a funeral costs. Right now, the average funeral cost could be anywhere between 15, 20, possibly even $30,000. Now, Dee Dee, if something were to happen to you tomorrow, is it safe to say that Ian would be responsible for coming up with the money to pay for your funeral?
Yes.
Does Ian have $18,000 laying around to pay for your funeral?
I don't know. Ian, do you have 18,000 laying around to pay for my funeral?
No, I do not. That would be a big problem.
Dee Dee, let me ask you a better question. Do you want him to come $18,000 out of his savings account to pay for your funeral?
No. I would rather have that go to the kids.
Let me show you a quick video that could better explain how we can make sure both of your funerals are taken care of without anyone having to dive into their savings account. Boom. Click continue.
Mhm.
The warmth of family.
All righty. Now is where I'm going to bring up the freedom of choice benefit again. Okay. Because they just watched the video. The freedom of choice was brought up. Okay. So Dee Dee and Ian, I'm sure that video made sense, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So on average, as you can see, it's somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000, depending upon what you want to get into the ground. Now, let me layer on to a couple things here. Okay. Do you remember seeing that freedom of choice benefit on that last video?
I do.
All right, let me give you a better explanation of exactly how the freedom of choice benefit works. Okay. When it comes to funeral homes really have a leg up on clients for a multitude of reasons. Okay. And the first and most obvious reason is that you're grieving. You just lost a loved one. And when you're grieving and you're just lost a loved one, do you think that's a good time to make a big financial decision?
No.
Probably not, right?
No.
So the first big thing to think about is that you're already grieving. The second thing to think about when it comes to funerals is that you don't shop around funeral home to funeral home. You don't go to one funeral home, ask them, hey, how much is this going to cost? Say, okay, great, fantastic. The body I just dropped off. Could you throw the body back in my trunk? I'm going to go down the road and check out some more prices and see what they think. That's not what you do. You go to one funeral home. What they tell you to do, you do. The third thing to think about is funeral homes are the very first people to see that life insurance policy that you have, meaning they're the first ones to see if you have a nice big policy or a relatively small policy. Now, put yourself as the funeral director for a second, and you have someone that's grieving that comes in and shares with you that they have a $250,000 life insurance policy. They're asking for a very basic funeral for $10,000, but you see $250,000. How much do you think you're going to charge them for that funeral, seeing that $250,000 sitting there?
I don't know. If I can get 40 with a horse-drawn carriage and everything else, I guess they will.
Absolutely. And that's typically what tends to happen. They kind of look at it like a blank check and they're going to spend as much as you can. And little did you know, by the time you get to that funeral, there's $20,000 of flowers that were spent. However, that $20,000 probably would have been better spent paying for the mortgage, the kids, whatever it may be. Is that fair?
Yes.
Love it. And the fourth thing to think about is that there's a state law in New Jersey that a lot of people don't know about. And the state law says that life insurance companies have up to 6 months to pay out a policy. Obviously, the bigger the policy, the longer it takes to pay out, right?
Yes.
Which policies with other companies, you may have, like Ian says, he has a $500,000 term policy. That may not pay out immediately, which means if that doesn't pay out immediately, when do you think the funeral home director wants their money?
Oh, immediately.
Really, right, Dee Dee? Just like those glasses you're wearing right now. Did you wear those glasses out of the store and then say, I'll pay you later? Or did you pay up front and then wear the glasses?
Paid up front.
Exactly. It's the same thing with funeral homes. However, with other companies, it may take 6 months to pay out. Is that money from that policy going to be there when you needed to lay out that money?
No, not for the funeral home.
That's probably one of the biggest problems that we see happening all the time nowadays. But believe it or not, with our company, everything that I just talked about, you don't have to worry about because we have that freedom of choice benefit. That freedom of choice benefit allows you to designate how much you want to spend on your own funeral before the time of your passing. So in other words, if you take out a policy with us today, you will receive this freedom of choice benefit at absolutely no cost. Before your passing, all you have to do is designate right here on this line, designate how much of a funeral you want to have. If you want to spend a $20,000 funeral, designate $20,000 toward your funeral. At the time of your passing, Dee Dee, all Ian has to do is find that freedom of choice paper, go to any funeral home of his choosing, and then within 24 hours, our company is going to cut them a check for that $20,000. So in other words, with our company, there's never a financial exchange from the client to the funeral home. The entire financial aspect is taken away because American Income Life takes care of that. It's pretty cool, right?
Yes.
So as you can see on the screen, Ian, we're going to make sure we're recommending $30,000 of life insurance for the final expenses. We're going to have nothing existing to cover that. So we're going to need 30, and that's what we're going to take care of for you guys today. And the same thing with you, Dee Dee. We're going to offer 30,000. You have nothing existing. So the need is for 30, and that's what we're going to take care of today. Pretty cool, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Click continue, bud. Now, the next benefit is called monthly income protection. Now, right now, you guys, and I use my hands on this, make sure you pay attention, okay? Right now, you guys are a dual income house. You're both bringing money in. If I'm not mistaken, Ian's bringing in a little more money, but the money that Dee Dee's bringing in is still going to the lifestyle, to the food, to the hair, the nails, the lifestyle that you guys have. Now, because both of you are bringing money in, Dee Dee, if something happens to Ian and his income is no longer there, is it safe to say it's going to be very difficult to stay at the lifestyle that you're used to having?
Yes.
Right? And vice versa, Ian, Dee Dee's no longer here, and the income she was bringing into the household is no longer coming in. Are you going to be able to stay at that lifestyle that you guys are used to having without her income coming in?
No.
Probably not, right? Let me show you guys a quick little video that can better explain how our company can make sure your income will continue to come into your family for years after your passing, so you don't have to worry about anyone's lifestyles changing. Boom, play the video.
Your paycheck.
So that video was pretty self-explanatory, right, guys?
Yes.
Any questions on it?
Oh, I do have one question.
Okay, I bet you did, Dee Dee. Let's do it.
Okay. So is it going to be the full amount of my income for a year? Do they get that in one lump sum, or how does that work?
I don't know if are we role playing right now? Or are you actually asking a question?
I'm doing both, Mike. I'm doing both.
So it'll be a lump sum. We'll get to that in just a second. Great question. We'll talk about it in just a moment. All right. So as you guys shared with me earlier, remember, Ian, you talked to me a little bit about the $500,000 term policy you have?
Yep.
So believe it or not, because you already have that, that's actually squared away, which is why we're not offering something on top of that. I told you, we're not trying to give you something above it. We're trying to keep something within your budget. You already have that taken care of. We're not trying to offer that to you. However, Dee Dee, if something were to happen to you, you don't have that term policy. So what we're offering is 5 years of your income, which comes out to 210,000. You don't have anything existing, so you need 210, and that's what we're going to provide for your family. God forbid something happens. Make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Great. Click continue, bud. Now, kids' education. Okay, you have a 15-year-old and you have a 10-year-old. Okay, do you have any idea if college is in their future?
I certainly hope so. They need a good
At
job.
least one, definitely. The other one,
Let me rephrase my question. Is it safe to say that God forbid something happens to either one of you, it's going to be difficult to afford to bring them to college?
Yes, that's
oh,
safe.
very much so.
Now, let me ask you a question. God forbid something happens to either one of you. Do you want that, the financial reason, to be the reason why your kids can't go to college? Whether they go or not, that's a different question. But do you want the financial reason to be the reason why they can't go?
No.
Absolutely.
Of course not, right? Let me show you a quick video that could better explain how we could make sure we could have money put to the side. God forbid something happens to either one of you, that we can make sure both Jackie and Michael could go to college. Boom, show the video.
As parents, you
Okay, so as you just saw, click continue again. As you just saw, okay? What we're looking at, oh, actually, we only put one kid in there, right? We didn't do Jackie and Michael to speed it up. We only
Oh, speed up the process.
we only did one kid. But anyway, what it showed just before is we're going to have $100,000 because as of right now, on average, in-state school in New Jersey, it's about $100,000 sent to a child to a 4-year in-state school. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure $100,000 are put to the side. God forbid something happens to either one of you. Jackie could go to college. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what I want you to do, Alessandro, is I want you to pull up. Well, I'm going to keep talking right now. I want you to click next benefit until all the benefits are up there. Okay. So basically, I just went over all of the different benefits that your family could or cannot qualify for. Okay. My first question for you is, did everything I go over today make sense?
Yes.
Ian, you're good too? Okay, good. Do you have any other questions for me?
Well, that's a little steep. Mike.
All right, so we'll get there. We'll get there. But do you have any questions about the products or anything else? Did it all make sense?
It all made sense.
All right, great. So if everything I went over today made sense, okay,
Mhm.
and you have no further questions for me, the only question I have for both of you is which plan are we going to get started with today? Would we like to get started with the gold package, which is going to take care of you in the future to make sure you never have to talk about insurance ever again? Or do you want to get started a little smaller at the silver package? We could get the program rocking and rolling, and in the future, if we need to add on, we definitely could. So which package would you like to start with, the gold package or the silver?
Well, of course, I would like the gold package,
By the way, Didi, now is when you could say whatever the hell you wanted to say.
whatever it was. Okay, of course, I like the gold package, but I'm a little, I have a big question about that mortgage protection. I mean, the income protection.
Okay.
So, like you said, it's going to be a lump sum, one time or every year.
A lump sum is a one-time thing. Yeah, you would get a lump sum immediately.
Okay, within the 5-year period.
No, the 5 years is just saying it's 5 years of your income. So you were saying you were making $3,500 a month. $3,500 a month for 5 years is $210. So we're protecting 5 years of your income, and $210 will get paid out to your family to make sure their lifestyle can maintain your money. Make sense?
That's wonderful, yeah.
I know it's wonderful. That's why I do what I do.
I've kind of nuance, well, not nuance, but I have like an actual like rebuttal here. This is getting very steep though, price wise.
Okay, well, I
And-
thought that's where Didi was going to go. Okay, so
And at least there, I want to. So in a thing like this one specifically, where the math, at least it comes out, it's like depends how you round up decimals. Where I think it's going to be like 594, 597. So it's like this could actually be like the
Yeah.
actual 6% mark.
pause. Alessandra, by the way, does anyone, before I dive into this, because guys, I got 5 minutes before someone's hopping on my Zoom.
I was just about to give you the time check. Cool.
Did everything did it make sense? Did this help you guys?
Yes.
Really quickly, Alessandro, click on the view recommended monthly premium button, the blue button. Yeah, click on that button. Down a little bit. There you go. Click that bad boy. Okay, pause. I
Yeah,
want to
alright.
make sure everyone knows how to access this.
Mhm.
Okay? Because, and I'm just going to rewind the tape a little bit. We talked about 6%, and Didi said, I don't really know. And I said, okay, we can use 5%. So what I'm going to openly tell you guys is I still would have done this presentation the exact same way. But I am going to prove to them that, look, I'm within 6%. Okay?
Yeah, no, it's close. Like I'm just saying, like this is like a time where it's like if 6% a stretch,
Pause.
like this.
Ian, I get your
We're
question.
not role playing.
Ian, I'm recording. Shut up. Okay. $480 is the actual 6% of what your guys take home pay. $4,500 and $3,500. Okay. 480 is it. So always what I'm going to do, as soon as you tell me it's too expensive, I'm going to go right to this and show them I'm not lying to you. I didn't offer you something above 6%. My commitment to you is budget friendly from the first second, and I'm proving that right now. I stayed within that 6%. And I'm also going to prove to them that they're still going to take something out of me because I'm going to make sure this makes sense. Because now when someone says it's a little too expensive, the sale is all about black and white here, transfer of belief. They didn't say no. If the price was right, would they do it? The answer is yes, because they're buying the product. The product when I say buying the product, I'm talking about they believe in the product. They may not have believed in the product an hour ago, but now they do. What I need to do is make sure the price is right so that they take advantage of it. So now that I could go back to the agreement, that $6 is not going to change their life. They're still saying it's a little too expensive, and that's still going to happen. But I'm still on offense. If this would have pulled up and it was showing a price of $585 and it's well over 6%, I'm no longer on offense. I lost. It's over. I lied. I'm full of shit. I'll never gain their trust again. Okay. Click continue. Okay. So if they're saying it's a little too expensive, I understand how you feel. A lot of members have felt the same way, but let me show you what they have found. Alessandro, okay, we're going to mess around with this. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep going in case they don't show up, okay? Didi and Ian, we showed you 3 different products that can help your family today. We talked about the final expenses and the freedom of choice. We talked about the income protection, and we talked about the kids' education. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Between those 3 products, which of those 3 products makes the most sense for your family? Like, which one excited you guys the most and you look at as most important?
I like that income protection.
Ian, what do you think, buddy? Your opinion matters.
I thought the protection, the income protection on either DD, but also I did see value in the final expenses for both of us. That way, what we have can at least go to our kid.
Love to hear it. And believe it or not, you guys actually gave me the right answers. So what I would be doing right now, Alessandro, under kids education, click on the $100,000 20-year term. Click that button. Recommended coverage, recommended coverage. There you go. Click that. And nothing happens. Okay, good. Go down to the bottom where it says optional coverage. Okay. Click. Oh, I just double clicked and it made my click income primary. Yep. Go down to where it says it would be there you ADB.
Primary or spouse?
It doesn't matter. Pick one.
Okay.
Okay. Click add. Okay. Now scroll down. I want you to click off of children's education primary, the term for 20 years. Click off of that. Change the 200 for the ADB to 100. So all I'm doing is making that $100,000 20-year term that they put on Jackie. I'm still keeping the 100 grand, but I'm making it accidental instead. So now hit recalculate and look at what it did to the price. Okay, so all I did was they saw the value in the final expenses. They saw the value in the income protection. So I'm not touching that. They told me the price was a little off. So all I did was go down, scroll down a little bit. All I did was instead of giving them the term policy for 20 years of 100 grand for the kids' education, I just moved it into ADB. Whereas if they happen to die, like I could say is to DD, you guys are at an age where if something were to happen to you in the next 20 years, it would be because of an accident, not because of a health related reason. So if something happened to you due to an accident, I'm going to make sure Jackie can go to college. So now, does everything I go over today make sense?
Yes, that's a lot better.
Do you have any other further questions?
No.
All right, so the only question I have for you now is, now which option do you want to rock and roll with? Do you want to go with that gold package or stay with the silver?
I say gold. What do you say, honey?
Yeah, absolutely gold.
Go get your checkbook, go get your prescription medications and your driver's license, and we'll get this party started today. Boom! Deuces.
Nice.
Boss.
Nice.